What is going on, guys? We are finally back with more fantasy franchise on Madden 17. And of course, if you didn't watch the draft, I might have an annotation on the screen right now, but it will be at the end of the video in the little template thing I have. And of course, we had an insane draft. The big thing we need, though, is a left tackle. It's not the hugest thing, but I'm willing to get rid of some draft picks and a cornerback for the best in the league. And of course, we do get him, and we do have a lot more needs, so we are going to fill those in free agency here. But of course, if you didn't know, we are joined by Bengal in this league, so check out his channel in the description, as he is the Chargers and we are the Broncos. So see who does better. And of course, hopefully we're going to be bringing you more than just one season this time around. And of course, to finish off the main bulk of it, we do trade for Xavier Rhodes. The problem is, though, good old Bengal forgot to turn off injuries when simming to the regular season. We have a few injuries, but of course he has much more, so I can't be too mad. But speaking of injuries, Xavier Rhodes is one of those guys, and we're really thin at cornerback. And the really cool thing about this league is, as you can see, all the teams are random. So you really don't know who is who and how good they're going to be. And speaking of how good they're going to be, this Panthers team, not looking as great as you would think they would. You seen Big Ben? That little injury symbol shows he's actually out for the season. So a deadly preseason for the Panthers as they lose their star quarterback and one of the best in the league. Definitely one of the most underrated too. To injury, so it's going to be Geno Smith, one of the better league backups in the starting position for the Panthers. As you can see, him and Hundley very considerably even, I guess, but the big difference is the Panthers don't have that offensive line or the running back talent that we do. So is that going to be a big problem for them, or is Geno Smith going to prove that he does belong as a starter in this league? And not starting good for them. As Geno Smith, number 4 looks really weird on him, but he does throw an incompletion early on, and you could see that is their offense. Not the worst offensive line in the world, but when you compare it to ours, we have one of the best in the league. We have Tyron Smith, Zach Martin, Mike Pouncey, Ryan Schrader, and I don't remember the left guard, honestly. Who is the left guard? It's got to be someone decent, though, because our line is absolutely stacked, which I have a lot of high hopes for this team, but the problem is this defense is pretty rough. But it's good enough there, as 3rd and 5 cannot be converted by the Panthers. It is a 4th and 5 punt to Mr. Kevin White, who has got a chance to return it, and he's going to run it to the outside, and Kevin White's got room. He's trying to make a man miss. He does get to the 41-yard line, so that's a pretty decent gain. And on 1st and 10, Broncos look like they're going to start out with an early run, and they do. David Johnson. Can't have his original number because Cam Chancellor has it, and I'm sorry, David, I love you, and I think you're a great player, but right now, Cam Chancellor is the more proven of the two, and 2nd and 10, there's a flag, and believe it or not, with that insane instant pressure, it's also against us. It's a holding call, but of course, they are going to decline it. What's the point of going for the acceptance when we would get a down and only a loss of 4 yards for them? So on 3rd and 16, we are going to deliver a strike to Kevin White, and looking pretty strong so far. Hundley delivering a very clutch throw there, and on 1st and 10, the two-headed attack starts off strong when you got Derrick Henry rushing for 8 yards. And back to David Johnson. 1st and 10, that's going to be another juke. The man doesn't go down without a second attempt, so that is going to be a 3-yard gain. And on 2nd and 7, it's going to be a play action to the right, and it's picked off, throwing to Braxton Miller. Brett Hundley throwing an interception, and the Panthers are pinned into their own 3 here. 2nd and 10, it's going to be a direct snap to Geno, who's going to get absolutely hammered by Ryan Shazier. And on 3rd and 9, the Panthers are going to play it smart and run it, and it actually, believe it or not, works out for a 1st down on 2nd and 5 after a short run. They are going to pass it on a play action, and just like that, Cam Chancellor gets a half a sack. They're going to be forced to a 3rd and 14. Can they convert? And this Broncos defense is relentless. They're actually not too bad. And on 3rd and 7, it's going to be a play action rolling to the right. That's a wide open Braxton Miller, who's coming on decently strong so far. Did get picked off when he was thrown to, but that's not really his fault. He ran a pretty solid route. Would have liked to see him come in a little bit more, but David Johnson already off to over 5 yards a carry. This running game is going to be very hard to stop. Another short pass to Braxton Miller, who gets a ton of yards and just gets slightly shoved out of bounds. So on 3rd and 7, after a very, very bad series of throws, it is going to be another conversion. So Brett Hundley throwing where it matters. He might have thrown a pick, but this offense is off to an insanely hot start. And another throw to Braxton Miller, who's going to be pushed all the way down to the 2-yard line. 1st and goal. Braxton Miller's goal is to not throw an interception. Can he do it? This is his second shot to the red zone. And David Johnson finishing off that long drive for a touchdown of his own. And they will call that a reception and not a rush, as that was close to a pitch, but not quite. But on 2nd and 6, Matt Jones running down the middle of the field, finally finding a seam into the defense, and 5 for 66 looks pretty good after all. And of course, the Panthers go right back to what's been working, and it's the run game. They almost get the touchdown, 18-yard gain there. And on 1st and goal and in motion from the wide receiver, it's going to be a throw. And it was almost picked off by Adrian Amos, and the ball starts pinballing a little bit, but it doesn't go anywhere. And on 3rd and goal, there's another in motion. Are they going to be able to finish this drive off with a score? It's going to be a fumble sack. That's Kevin Dodd. Kevin Dodd forced to play inside because there's really no more options. And he's pretty much going to walk in the end zone as the closest guy finally catches him, which is Jordy Nelson, but not even close enough, as that's going to be a huge defensive touchdown. From potential score touchdown for the Panthers to a deficit of 2 touchdowns now. After a 3rd and 6 game, that's a pretty clutch throw by Geno Smith. Without that play, there could possibly be a 3rd touchdown before the half. And Geno Smith going to run, and he gets leveled. Destroyed on the play. And on 3rd and 8, it's going to be a Geno Smith throw. And to the right side of the field, another destruction of a throw, of a hit. And on 4th and inches, it's going to be a long 59-ish yard field goal. And it curves in, and it's in. So believe it or not, they actually hit a huge, monstrous kick there. And on the play action, it's going to be a bomb to Julio Jones, and it's picked off right before the half. Right before the half, speaking of, on defense, Cam Chancellor trying to head off to the locker room early, and he gets a hit stick while he's offside. Very lucky he didn't get ejected there, but of course, not doing anything there. It is the start of the 3rd, and David Johnson's got room to the outside. He gets a man to miss, and he's got one man to beat. Can he beat him down the sideline? He's got the speed, and he does finish it. So you knew this offense was great, but you knew also that they had more in them, and that's the more we're talking about. A solid 21-3 lead, 3rd and 11, and that is a pretty damn good dot by Geno Smith. I'm not exactly sure what's going on here, but of course, Geno Smith not playing too bad, considering he didn't really expect to be the starter, and this team is already really rough, even with Big Ben. But speaking of that, Geno Smith having a lot of time there does actually get the throw, so, not playing too bad. It's just they can't really convert. And on 1st and 10, Matt Jones throwing a man down, running a man over, and tossing a man into the end zone as he's 1 yard short. Of course, the Panthers could really use this score. And on 3rd and goal from the 1, Andrews tries to punch it in, and he can't. So from the 1, they do kick their field goal. And at 1st and 10, David Johnson trying to go to the right side where he left off. And of course, the Panthers not having any of that. They are not going to fall for that twice. And on 2nd and 10, it's going to be a play action. They've been biting a little bit, and that's a bomb to Julio Jones. As right before the half, they got a pick, but this time it's actually caught for the touchdown. Julio Jones having a decent game so far after that huge gainer. And speaking of a huge gainer, on 3rd and 12 into coverage, the Panthers do convert, but on 4th and inches, they are very short, so they need to get it, and they don't. They get chased down from behind by, I believe, Ryan Shazier on the QB sneakage read option play. And on 2nd and 10, David Johnson is hard to contain, especially when he has an offensive line this great. And on 1st and 10, right after the first down, David Johnson getting a juke from that. Great O-line, easily one man to beat every play just about. And on 3rd and 14, Brett Hundley deciding if no one's open, I'm going to take it myself. Tries to get a little juke, and he is 3 yards short. What do the Broncos do? They're going to go for it. Why not? They're doing very well, and even if they don't get it, they pin their opponent. And Julio Jones getting a second touchdown of the game on the conversion. Of course, the Panthers couldn't do much with the ball, so with 1 minute left, the Panthers really could, the Broncos, on the other hand, could really do what they want. And for another play-action play with the max protect, Julio Jones goes for 79 yards. So Julio Jones almost up to 200 yards on the game with 3 touchdowns. Potential player of the week here for the Broncos. And on 2nd and 10, Panthers just trying to get something to go into next week to feel good about themselves. Nobody can really feel good about a 6-40 loss, but we would assume this Broncos offense is going to be one of the league's best. And of course, with the Panthers having as many injuries as they do, which they do, they have 6 injuries and 4 of them are key. I really don't expect them to go far. They're probably going to be a top 5 worst team in the league for us. And, of course, we do get a nice strong win, though. I mean, even if they're not going to be great, it's still strong. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you are new to the channel, maybe subscribe. And also check out Bengal. He is the Chargers. But, I mean, anyways, hopefully you did enjoy. And hopefully you guys come back for next video. But until next video, see